Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. Landon Glenn here with Banzai. We're very excited for our presentation, and we've got people still filing in pretty rapidly, but we want to go ahead and get started. And I'll start with a little bit of housekeeping as we prepare to begin here. So number one, we are recording the session, and we will be able to provide copies of this for those who'd like it. Number two, through the GoToWebinar app, you can submit questions. And for the last two webinars we've done, which the webinars are the same each day, we're doing the same presentation, but we had different times so that if you weren't able to make it a different day, you could come on one of the other days. And we've been getting a very large number of questions on each of these webinars. And so if you have a question that you want to ask, you'll see a questions section on your GoToWebinar, and you go ahead and click on that, type that question in and hit enter, and then you can ask questions as we're going through the presentation. And then of course, once we get to the very end, you can still ask questions. We'll be answering questions mostly at the end, but we may also answer questions as we're going. So we're excited to talk to you today about content marketing, driving ROI, and providing financial education. Basically, we're branching out. In the past, when I came to Banzai, and just to go through a quick little introduction here, so I'm Landon Glenn. I've been with Banzai for 4 years now. And when I came to Banzai 4 years ago, I fell in love with the product. And I said, this is something truly special. And we were providing real life simulation platform softwares for kids to be able to practice what life's going to be like when they graduate and to be able to learn how to budget and manage their money. And we were doing something in the schools that no one else was doing. We were providing a free solution, a simulation of real life. We were providing real value, and that's caught on and grown. And Banzai has been able to now reach over 50% of high schools in the United States with over 750 bank and credit union partners. So it's been a really fun ride, but as we've grown, more and more partners started asking for solutions for their website. They said, we want a product that we can use for our website. We want something interactive. We want something different from everything else on the market. And so we began the long journey of developing something that would be disruptive, in our opinion, for the market, something new, something engaging. And we had so many partners using other programs that we had the luxury of sitting back and asking them all what they thought. And, hey, what's getting used? What's not? What do you like? What do you not like? What do you wish this had? And, when I first came over to Banzai, the thing that really impressed me the most was how much the product team, which Kendall Buchanan is the head of all product, and how much he and his team and everyone at the company cared about the end user. Everything that we did was about serving and providing value and making the experience incredible for the people using the program. And I knew that was a winning ticket. That was something that would help grow and drive usage. And so Kendall founded the company. He was one of the co-founders in 2007. And they started out the program to be a PFM solution. And they found out very quickly when Mint.com released a free platform, it was going to be very hard to get people to pay for theirs. And so one of their teachers from middle school came and said, hey, we'd like to try and use Banzai at our school. And before we knew it, the high schools and a lot of the other schools in Utah, we were in about 50% of schools in the state of Utah at that grade level, providing a free solution. And we didn't know how to monetize it. We didn't know what to do with it. But as you all know, we've kind of found our path and we are where we are today. But Banzai, Kendall is the true genius behind Banzai and the product. And that's why our products, when you see that they're colorful, they're beautiful, they're aesthetically pleasing, they're easy to use, they're easy to understand. That's why our products are so, that's why they are that way. It's because of Kendall Buchanan. And we have a really exciting product to show you today, and we're going to talk about how you can create a strong culture of financial education, starting with your employees and taking it to your account holders, your customers, your members, your business partners, everywhere else in your community. And I'm excited to introduce Kendall Buchanan and let him start our training on content marketing. So Kendall, take it away.
Hey, thanks, Landon. Appreciate that exceptionally generous introduction. Yeah, this is kind of exciting for me. Being in the product group, I have the privilege to meet with a lot of our bank and credit union partners on an individual basis. I'm trying to understand your needs, the things that you're looking for. And so to be here on this presentation, sharing something that we've been working on for over a year now. And well, a lot of what we're going to be showing has been in the works for nearly 2 years. And to be able to demonstrate it to you today and show you some brand new software is really pretty exciting. Looking forward to your feedback. I'm going to give a strategic overview of our new product, and then I'll turn the time back over to Landon to give an in-depth demonstration of the software. But as Landon said, please write us your questions as we go. We'd love to get to as many of them as we can within the hour. So before we start, I'd like to share a story about content marketing. And I want to give you an analogy to help understand our perspective on content marketing, how we look at it, and what we were trying to achieve with our product. So I personally am a rock climber, and I've been rock climbing for about 15 years. And living in Utah, where Banzai is headquartered, it's a real privilege to live here because there are literally thousands of routes to climb along what we call here in Utah the Wasatch Front, which is a mountain range that runs north and south about 250 miles. And along that mountain range are, as I mentioned, thousands of safe, accessible, and free routes that anybody, me included, any climber who wishes can go out at any time of the year and play around on these routes and can do so without any supervision and can do so without paying any fee as you go. And one of the questions one of the interesting things about rock climbing is that in order to go and do it safely, it's really important that there are guidebooks giving information about how to get to the routes, about how to climb them safely, about the gear that you might want to use as you climb them. But not only do you have to have plenty of documentation, guidebooks, internet sites, information helping you get to to get out and climb, you also need a group of people who maintain those routes. And try to imagine just how much time and effort it would be to build and maintain thousands of routes along a 250-mile stretch. And that's just one part of Utah. So how are these built? Well, they're usually built with bolt anchors. And a single route can have anywhere from, 7 or 8 bolts to maybe 15 or 20. The cost of setting up one of these routes is between $60 to $100. It can take more than a day to create a single route. And one of the most fascinating things about rock climbing is that for as many thousands of climbers as there are in Utah, very few of them understand where the routes come from or who builds them. And I think you'll see the analogy and why I consider this such a good way of looking at content marketing in a moment. But it was several years into my career as a climber when it dawned on me, after spending quite a bit of time meeting with other climbers, climbing with others, spending time in the gear shops, that it dawned on me that the vast majority of these routes are not maintained simply by the enthusiasts that are out climbing, but they're actually maintained by the owners of local gear shops. And they themselves are enthusiasts, and no one is paying them directly to go out and create these routes. But as you can imagine, there's a strong relationship between the climbing community and the gear shops and the routes that they go out and create. And so there's a reciprocal relationship where the owners go out and create these routes, and they encourage more people to come in and to their shops and buy ropes and to buy harnesses and to buy safety equipment. And as they build more and more areas and develop more and more areas, they're creating a culture of climbing in their community. So this, in my mind, is one of my favorite examples of content marketing. In fact, it doesn't even leverage a traditional digital media or medium like email or Twitter or any type of social media outlet. It's actually a form of content marketing that takes place just in the real world. So let me establish a couple of definitions for what we at Banzai consider content marketing, and then we'll dive into the software itself. So for us, content marketing is the art of generating leads by giving something useful away for free. And what does that accomplish? First, it helps you create a loyal audience and retain them over time. A loyal audience of people reading and regularly looking to you for something interesting and useful. So again, going back to this word useful. In marketing, we often talk about content generation, and the most important thing to remember is that the content needs to be relevant and meaningful to those individuals. Second, in addition to retaining a loyal audience over time, you need to also, for this to be worthwhile, be generating leads and following up on them. So I want to bring to your attention one quick set of statistics from the HubSpot marketing survey that's produced annually. This is a pretty useful tool in your toolbox as a marketer, something worth keeping an eye on. And that is, this survey is a cross-section of the industry. It's about 750 different companies from different, different walks of business. And annually, they respond to a set of questions, and most of them relate to content creation, advertising, social media. But one of the most interesting takeaways that they reported this year in their report is that organizations exceeding their revenue goals are more likely to use content creation by a substantial lead. You can see here from this chart that it's surprising just how much of marketing budgets are being allocated towards content creation, which leads to the question of what type of content are they actually creating? How do you make sure that your content comes across as a signal amongst the noise that people receive in their inboxes, their social media feeds? And for us at Banzai, and we believe as an institution, a bank or a credit union in your community, we believe that the center point or the centerpiece of the content that you should be creating, or the content that you should be offering, the value that you can be offering for free to individuals in your community, is personal finance and education in personal finance. And there's a number of reasons for that. But the one I would point to most is that personal finance, among many other sensitive things that adults experience in life, personal finance is one of the most difficult things for them to talk about. Something that I like to share with some of my friends, for as long as I have worked in personal finance, for as long as I have been a co-founder of a financial literacy organization, it's remarkable to me how Rarely I am consulted by people I know in my life about personal finance or about how to be successful in personal finance. It's fascinating how little people know about one another's finances and how little they talk about it. But being a bank or a credit union, you are in a unique position to talk with them about things that are deeply sensitive to them. Let me give you a personal example. I personally am pretty sensitive to marketing, and I try my very hardest to keep the number of messages and the noise in my life at the lowest possible threshold I can. However, I'm a member of Credit Karma. Some of you are familiar with Credit Karma. It's a service that helps you understand your credit score. You can access your credit report with TransUnion or Equifax whenever you want. Credit Karma sends me an email every single week. In fact, I probably receive 2 emails from them every week. And I still have not unsubscribed. I continue to receive that email. I continue to read it. I always open it. It often leads me to logging in because what kind of things do they send me? As you can see here, my credit score went up. Well, how much? I want to find out. Somebody appears to have opened up a line of credit. Was that me? I don't remember. So without too much more preamble, I want to give you back to Landon. But first, I want to share with you what our solution is in content marketing, what our goals were as we built this product, what we were trying to achieve. First, we want to help you make a personal content marketing solution, something that speaks to the goals and the needs of real individuals, real adults, the things that they actually care about. We also want to respect adults. We want to respect their time. We want to respect them in a way that doesn't patronize them. We don't want to assume that they want to read your content just because you're sending it to them. We want them to value the information that they receive from you. The solution should also involve calls to action. When you send an email to somebody or you post something on social media, it should lead to some sort of invitation to act. And when they do act, and when they react to your invitation, you should be able to gather a lead. So with Banzai software, we don't want to drop or fumble the football at the 99th yard line. We want to carry it over the end zone and actually collect the lead. Next, you should be able to analyze those leads. You should be able to understand where they're coming from, which campaigns are working best. And finally, we want to help you follow up on those leads to actually take action with them. So Landon, I'll give it back to you. Do you want to take them through the software?
Yep, that sounds great. Okay, let me make sure, whoopsies. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yep, there it is.
Okay. So as you know, Banzai has been providing our real-life simulation software for quite a long time. It originally started with Banzai Teen, simulating life after high school, saving up for college. And then we had sponsors that said, hey, we're looking for elementary school curriculum, but there's nothing on the market that compares to Banzai Teen. Can you create something for us? And so we developed Banzai Junior. And then, of course, Banzai Plus for adults that simulates the home buying process with a simulated credit report. And so our entire business model, our culture here is about experience-based learning. Everything we've done is hands-on. It's learning by doing. You're actually interacting with the software. And so when we developed our interactive library, that was no exception. And so in our interactive library, you have a topical resource guide with a series of interactive lessons that you can go through and pick a topic and learn about. So let's say, for example, you wanted to do a newsletter or a blog post or even a social media post about retirement. Well, you have this resource where you can get the URL and send them directly to this retirement lesson. And it has very well written content that they can scroll down and read with images, graphics, and activities built in. Now, as you scroll down, you can see at the top, an offer appears. The text on this offer is completely customizable. Every single article in Banzai can have its own custom offer. And when you click on the offer, it has text that is also customizable. And the text allows you to fill in down below a lead. So you can put in your name, email, and phone number to let somebody from the bank or credit union know that you'd like to talk to them about setting up an IRA, or you'd like to learn more about an IRA. And so scrolling down a little bit more, let's say, for example, you wanted to do a seminar on buying a home. Well, you've got content in the lessons to be able to teach. And as you scroll down, the activities are built in so that you could have your attendees pull up their mobile phones and actually get in and complete and play with the activities while you're teaching. So for example, a mortgage affordability calculator. This allows you to go in and put a projected mortgage payment, and now you put in your income. So it'll ask you for your net income, and then it'll ask for a list of expenses. So now you're going to go through and put in, phone, internet. You've got a bunch of different categories. So as you fill out your budget and put everything in there, you'll see down below the numbers adding up. So when you hit finish, it'll give you a little description on whether or not you can afford the mortgage. And it'll tell you that we're also creating the ability to be able to save this data and have it emailed to your representative at the bank or credit union, so that you'll be able to track in our back-end tracking portal not only the leads that are coming in through Banzai, but you'll be able to see the number of clicks, how many people are using your different activities and things like that. So let's go back again and click on the cost of a mortgage. So as you scroll down at the top, there's an offer here to be able to check out current mortgage rates. And if they hit check rates, it allows them to fill out some information and get some info from a representative. Now this mortgage calculator, for most of you that have seen mortgage calculators or have mortgage calculators on your website, they are, our goal was to make something that's easy to use, something that has different types of data, better data than any other calculator on the market, and doesn't look like an accountant created it. And so when you take a look at our mortgage calculator here, you can quickly put in your numbers. You can change your down payments or your interest rates easily. And the numbers as you go will change down at the bottom. The interest, the payment, everything. So this is the principal and interest payment here. And now you can hover over year one, and it's going to tell you how much the loan will cost you in principal and interest for the year. And as you go through, you can scroll and see as the loan amortizes how that changes over time. And our users have told us that this is many times more useful for them than the amortization table that you get when you close on your home. And the government has their checkbox where they put all of the, you have to have the disclosures in there, and so people put it in, but the information isn't doing much for anyone. There's so much information there, it's overwhelming, it's not aesthetically pleasing. So as we scroll down, we've got our early payoff calculator. And same thing, you can go through and change the numbers, and you can say, if I pay a little bit extra per month, how much quicker is my loan going to pay off? And as you hover over the years, you can see, oh, in 10 years, I'm going to be $107,000 ahead with this extra payment. That's great. I'm saving $124,000 in interest. So what we're doing here, we're trying to disrupt the mortgage calculator industry. We're trying to create better better looking, more useful, and easier to use calculators than anything on the market. And so the nice thing about Banzai is we're creating the ability so that you can actually put these calculators on your website and be able to embed those in there. But right now they're ready to go. They're on our content marketing library. And another cool thing about the content marketing library, as we scroll down, let's say you want to learn about car loans. Okay, we can have an offer up here at the top that says bring your auto loan over to the bank or credit union and get a $50 gas card. And not only can the text be customized within the offer, but then at the very bottom, we have the offer appear again, and we can have another version of the text. So that way it's not overwhelming, but as your users are reading, they're learning, they're interacting, we're giving them multiple different calls to action, multiple different opportunities to be able to learn. And so this content marketing library is a pretty new product for us. The interactive library has been around for about 2 or 3 months, and we're constantly adding new articles. For example, this new section on starting a business came in just a couple weeks ago, and it's got information on getting professional help with your business, health benefits, attracting employees, funds to build your business. You know, as financial institutions, that's something that you can put an offer in there to help promote and get more business loans in your community. And so there's topics for almost everything that you can imagine in here. And our goal is to have over 70 different topics ready to go by the end of the year, and to have interactive activities inside of each one of them. For example, on the budgeting here, we've got a budget calculator where you can go through and put in all of your budget information, and we're adding in the ability to be able to save that data or be able to share it with somebody else as well. So really cool tools here. And if you have any questions, feel free to let us know. But just to give you an example of how our partners are using the interactive library and some of our other products, I'm going to pull up one of our websites. So Western Rockies FCU is one of our partners, and on their website they have a link for Banzai, and when you click on it, it takes them to their Banzai landing page. And you can see they've got their Banzai for Schools, which, as you guys know, shows the Banzai Schools program. And then we've got Banzai for Teachers, or sorry, not for teachers, for Banzai for their members to use. And so now they have a link here available that can go on their website, and we provide that link to them. We host the website so that now you have the ability to give your adult financial literacy or financial wellness center to anyone, anywhere in your community. Let's say that there's a local library and you want to be a partner. Well, now you can put that URL on their website as a link. Another partner is P1FCU. And on their website, under Education, you've got Banzai for Teachers, which again takes them to our co-branded Banzai website. And then of course you've got, going back here, Banzai Direct for members. And then that takes them to a landing page to talk about Banzai Direct. So all of these links are, you can share them with different churches or libraries or boys and girls clubs. We get requests all the time from government programs, from nonprofits, from local businesses, and they want financial wellness. They want education for their website. And everyone right now, it's a hot topic to have a better experience for your account holders and to be able to give them something unique. And Banzai is a way to differentiate yourselves from the guys across the street. And it allows you to give them a simulation platform with all of our simulations for little kids, for teens, for college age, for adults. But then you also have the interactive library, the calculators, activities, articles topical resources. It is the most comprehensive solution on the market. And with our ability to give you the link to put on other people's websites, now you can give financial wellness to your most important business partners in the community for free. And whenever their employees sign up for the program, they're going to see your logo. They're going to see your brand. Wherever Hometown Financial is, you can see the logo on everything. In the software, as they're interacting with it, they're going to see your brand. When they click on an offer, again, they're going to see your brand. So everything is branded for your bank or credit union. And so that way you could go out and form a partnership with the housing authority or some other program and say, hey, we're going to give you free financial wellness for all of your employees, for all of your patrons, all of your customers, anyone that wants to use it. And then when those people sign up, you're reaching those people and they become a lead, so that you have the opportunity to be able to market to those people down the road however you'd like. And so it's a very exciting concept to put into practice. One thing that P1FCU has done recently, and we have a case study on this that we can share if you're interested, but they actually launched Banzai for their employees to start. And they had all of their employees go through Banzai Junior, Teen, and Plus. And Banzai Junior, Teen, and Plus, for those who don't know, as you play through the games, the simulations, you have to save money to win something. It's challenging and it's competitive. If you have a class of 100 kids that are playing Banzai, every single student will have a different experience from all of the other kids in class. No two students will have the same experience. And there's no other program like that on the market. So anyways, they put some incentives together and said, okay, whoever performs the best and saves the most money with Banzai gets a prize. And they put together some different incentives, and it became something that the employees were getting kind of competitive with. They were having fun with it. And they wanted to, they were even doing Banzai in their own time from home, so that they could try and win the prizes that they were giving away. And so as their employees used Banzai, they noticed that it was actually challenging. They learned a lot. Many of them, it took them multiple times to win the game. And that's by design. We've designed it to be a challenging accomplishment for the end user. And one thing it did, it created so much excitement around their Banzai program that their employees were wanting their kids to play Banzai. They were wanting their friends to do Banzai. They were telling everyone about it, and even going to their kids' schools and having them sign up to use Banzai. And they saw a 3x growth in usage in their school's program as a result of having Banzai launched for their employee base. And so we highly recommend that you start with your employees, because if your employees aren't excited about your program, if it's boring and you put a boring program on your website, it's not going to work. It's going to fail. They're not going to share it with anyone. No one's going to use it. It has to be exciting. And Banzai is something that will build a culture. And once we've done that, then we can provide handouts and different branded materials to help you promote Banzai to your members, to your customers, to your teachers, anywhere that you want to promote it. So now they can have these handouts in their branches on the table. And when somebody comes in that needs help with applying for a mortgage or preparing for their future, we even have partners where they require them to do Banzai before they can waive an overdraft fee. And it's working so well for our partners that it's building a culture where they want to share and spread Banzai with everyone, everywhere. And that's how you get a strong culture of financial education. And we were at a conference recently, and they said that 1 in 3 of your employees are struggling financially right now. And that means that they're less productive at work, they have more distractions, they're going to take more sick days, and even bigger of a problem, they can't help give something to your account holders that they don't have themselves. And after that presentation, a bank president came up to us and said, one of my employees just filed bankruptcy and never said a word to anyone. We're trying to help them put the pieces back together now, but it's too late. We could have done so much more if we had known, but it's a hard topic. As Kendall said, it's one of the most difficult topics to talk about. And so they didn't say anything to anybody. Maybe they were embarrassed, maybe they were ashamed, but they didn't get the help they could have gotten because they were not comfortable talking to their employer, who happened to also be a financial institution, about finance. That president said, I want to have a culture. We want to have something at our institution so that people feel comfortable talking about it. Our employees, our account holders. We want to have an open culture where it's something we regularly talk about, where we train on it when new hires come in. When kids come into our branch with mom and dad, we don't want to just give them a sucker. We want to stop them and say, hey, how would you like to become better at managing money than your mom and dad when you grow up? How cool would that be? And Banzai provides the most comprehensive resource on the market for that. So the back-end tracking, any good marketing tool, any good solution needs to have a strong back-end resource. So any person who signs up for Banzai on your website, when they hit sign up, they can go ahead and put in their age and their name, email, and once they sign up, you'll see that they're able to access Banzai Junior, Banzai Teen, Banzai Plus, and they can get in and access the interactive library. Now, the interactive library is also available without signing up. So you can just grab the URL from one of the articles and send it to anyone, anywhere, and they'll be able to click on it, go through the content, they'll be able to do everything on the article. So it's available both ways. So anyone that signs up for Banzai, you're going to have their name, their age, their sign up date, how many times they've logged in, how much time they've spent in Banzai, their email address, their location. We get by tagging their IP address. We even have a referral ID, so you can see if they came from an email that you sent out, or if they came from maybe a social media post or a partnership that you have with a local business and they came from their website. So it'll tell you where your leads are coming from, so you know which marketing efforts are working. And then you can scroll down and see their progress for everything that they've done when they log in, their feedback on what they're learning, details, all kinds of really great stuff. And now we have a summary report that'll show you analytics for how many users that you have as they sign up per month, demographics, age, time spent in Banzai, numbers of logins, pre and post test scores and their improvements for all of your different programs. Badges, so that you can go through and see the personality type of your user. For example, the worrywart badge. This means they bought every type of insurance that was possible. So it'd probably be a good idea to send them information on insurance or emergency funds or preparedness, that kind of stuff, and then talk to them about those types of products. Scrolling down, you can see a geographic report telling you which states all of your users are coming from, all the way down to the city and the zip code. So you can say, okay, this market is performing really well over here on the west side. Oh, on the east side, we're not getting as much usage. We need to promote over there a little bit better. And to be successful in marketing, you have to have good data. So you can go through and see every user and how they're finding your website. Are they coming from an email that you sent? Or are they coming, oh my gosh, 30% of our users are coming from a partnership with the library in town. We got 15 new accounts out of it. That's incredible. We can go in and see that. And now we know, let's go to the library and put up some posters. And maybe we should get a little prize box where kids can win prizes too. Or maybe we should say, hey, when you complete the program, we'll give you a free pizza when you open your first savings account, or something like that. The US Department of Treasury put out a memo in April, and they've been researching financial education and what works and what doesn't work. And they said that simply providing information on personal finance is not enough to help people take action towards improving their financial security. They said providing children access to their own bank accounts and other types of hands-on learning, such as through simulated economic activities, holds substantial promise to improve financial knowledge, interest, and confidence in financial action. And so what that means is that they're discovering experience-based learning, hands-on learning is the future, and that's what works. That's how we learn. You know, we don't learn by reading definitions or getting lectured, you know, through a video that we're watching on a website, or, you know, it just doesn't work. And so that's why Banzai does things differently. When you go through our lead tracking, you can see every single lead, where it came from, how they found you, what marketing campaign it was. You can see their email, their phone number, their lead, the generation date. You can go through and see analytics, so you can go through and see how many page views you've had and unique visitors on every different article. Just tons of incredible data here for you. And then, of course, another referral report. So you could say, oh my gosh, you know, Twitter is outperforming Facebook, you know, 5 to 1. We need to be doing more stuff on Twitter. That's what our market likes. So that's what they respond to. And you can go through and figure out which marketing efforts are working and which ones aren't. And so with Banzai, it is a complete package, out of the box, ready to go, with everything that you need to run a successful marketing campaign. Not to mention, of course, our flagship simulation products that are also included in the program as part of the package for your website. So I'd like to, of course, questions are welcome, and I'd like to turn the time over to Kendall for a couple more items, and then we are going to get to some of these questions here in just a few minutes.
Great, thanks so much, Landon. I don't normally do this because, well, we don't normally reveal our product roadmap. However, this content marketing product that we've launched is, it's being so well received by the partners that we've introduced it to, and it's proving to be so valuable so quickly that we're quite confident in the roadmap that we have set forth, and the feedback that we've received has been so strong in consistent directions that I do want to share with you a few things that we have in development now that dovetails on all of the things that Landon just shared. And Landon did a really good job demonstrating specifically the calls to action that are now a part of the interactive library. If you had already seen the interactive library, the calls to action are actually completely new. So I like to think of content marketing as having two different problems associated with it. The first being, what content are you going to use to drive the campaign? And Landon just showed you the complete solution for that. As he said, our goal is to have as many as 70 articles by the end of the year. I believe the number is around 50 right now. And as he mentioned, they'll cover a whole host of different subjects, as they do already. And so that's one part of the problem. The second part of the problem for a content marketing campaign is the execution of it. And we not only want to help you create the content and make sure that what you're delivering is really useful to people, but that you also have a plan for executing it. And we recognize that actually is pretty complicated on its own. So we are developing, we have in draft form already, a how-to guide for content marketing. This will be a crucial part of the product. We're still continuing to work on it. I'd be happy to send you a draft form of it. It's missing images, but we do have a lot of the text, but you could get an idea of what it's going to say. But this piece is concrete. It has concrete examples of how to conduct a campaign, how to treat the different social media mediums, how to write copy for an email campaign, how to construct an effective subject line for an email, how to test emails, how to think about the offers that you write. I should also mention that many of you are already partners with the Banzai program. Many of you are already partnering with us for schools, and you have a Banzai direct representative. We're also creating new training programs internally at Banzai to help our Banzai representatives understand better how to instruct you on content marketing for the direct product. And they can work hand in hand with you on creating those offers, writing the copy for the calls to action, what to do with the leads afterwards. And so they'll be using this content marketing guide as well as they help train you. Another piece of this content marketing, of the how-to guide will be a content calendar. This is pretty cool. It's easy to create. It's one thing to talk about the execution of a plan, but it's another thing to actually have dates on a calendar. And one of the useful things about putting something on a calendar is you're committing yourself out into the future, and you've made the decisions beforehand. We're creating a recommended or suggested or example content calendar that you could use right out of the box, or you could take and adjust it, as you see fit. But consider that some of these articles in our library are timely for different seasons. So take December or after Christmas. People are starting to realize that they've overspent their budgets. They're starting to think about their New Year's goals. They're beginning to think, they're beginning to feel maybe even a little bit ashamed of how much they spent for Christmas. And that might be a timely opportunity for you to hit them up with a message about how to rein in their spending. So that content calendar will have recommendations for what times of year you ought to send certain types of articles, also how to segment different cross-sections of your newsletter lists or your audiences, how to look at a portion of your list and say, okay, these people are best sent messages about auto loans. These people are best sent messages about student loans. So a couple of other things. This question is being asked consistently throughout the webinar. In fact, we've already gotten some questions today about it. I want to go ahead and address it, and that is, are the articles and the calculators able to be embedded on your website as opposed to sitting on our landing pages? And the answer is yes. We're working on that right now. That's been the most consistent feedback that we've received, which is that you would like to take, or many of you would like to take those calculators in an embedded format and put them on your own home pages. Maybe on, say, you've got a rates calendar for your mortgages. You might like to have some of those calculators listed underneath there. We're working on that now, and we hope to have that ready in a month or two. And then finally, I'm going to make another announcement that will be really relevant for our school sponsor, or our partners among this group that are sponsoring schools. This is unrelated to the content marketing strategy, but that is that we are launching a Spanish version of Banzai. The courses, Junior, Teen, and Plus, we will have a Spanish translation for those 3 courses ready in a few weeks. So we're really excited to make that announcement too. Landon, shall we jump into the questions?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. So it looks like this is a fairly popular question. Please submit them as we go. We're going to try to end at 10 a.m. Mountain Time. But the first question, and it appears to be pretty popular, is the content and the calculators optimized for mobile devices?
Yeah, so let's go ahead and take a quick peek at that. So if we open up one of the calculators, let's just grab one of the mortgage calculators. It is all mobile responsive. So if you make it smaller, it was designed mobile first, and so the website does adjust, and you're able to use it on a mobile device. So everything is mobile friendly, and it all can be used on a mobile device.
Perfect. Next question is, can we export leads into our own CRM?
Yes, absolutely. So we have an export button for all of your data within and throughout the Banzai Manager, whether you're dealing with schools, leads, teachers, analytics data. We have export buttons so you can download all of that data into a CSV file and, of course, plug it into your CRM.
Cool, perfect. Yeah, and that is also, by the way, that's something that's fairly easily customizable. And so, you know, we're welcome to take suggestions about the types of pieces of data that you would like to be able to inhale into whatever CRM that you're using.
Mm-hmm.
So here, yeah, looks like we have a number of technical questions today. Here's another one. Content question. Are we open to suggestions for other articles to publish beyond the ones that we've already selected ourselves?
Oh, absolutely. We get suggestions from our partners constantly, and that's very helpful for us because we know what you want. And our goal with Banzai is to be the most comprehensive solution for education on the market. So if there's a special article you want in there, and you know, we have had people ask us for, you know, programs designed for military people, for all kinds of different options. And so, yeah, send your requests in, and we do take those into consideration as we decide which articles to release next.
Great, great. Here's a question that we haven't seen in the webinar yet, and that is, are the articles available for schools?
Yes, we have made the articles available for the schools. Everything that we create for Banzai, we want it to benefit your students, our future generation, and we want it to benefit our partners. And so we're working on a Banzai business platform that will be coming out sometime next year. And that'll be perfect for colleges, for business class and high schools, but it's also going to cover all kinds of great stuff for small businesses to be able to simulate running a business and how to get business loans and how the processes work. And so, yes, everything that we create for your website, we also want it to be something that can function in the schools and vice versa.
Yep. Now, specific questions about access to those articles, we can address individually. I believe, Landon, that you have to have access to Banzai Direct for those articles.
Yes.
Okay. Next question is, and a number of questions relate to this. Can you tell us about pricing?
Oh, yes. So on pricing, many of you have a representative who referred you to come here or that you're already working with. And if you do, we can have them reach out to you on pricing. It looks like we have quite a few questions on pricing here. The price of the Banzai Direct platform is based on asset size. We also have package deals. If you're already a school sponsor and you want to package this together, we can do that. So if you would like to get pricing for your institution, go ahead and put a question in there right now and just say, hey, send me pricing, and that way we can keep track of who wants that, and we can reach out to you after the webinar and follow up and give you pricing. So go ahead and let us know if you'd like that. The pricing is the most competitive on the industry in the market for what we do. Our goal is to provide the best value at the best price out there. And as you know from our schools product, we have competitors that charge thousands of dollars per school, and we're typically 5 times cheaper than them as far as schools pricing goes. And so our goal is to, you know, be not only the best value, the best product on the market, but also the best pricing.
Great. Here's a question, Landon, I think I'll answer this one. Do we enter our offers placed in the manager, or so this question is, do we enter the offers into the manager that we would like to display, or does someone at Banzai need to add our offers on our behalf? Right at this moment, it is, well, I'll address a couple of things with that question. Right now, in order to get this software out quick enough and start getting this out into testing and production, we chose to begin by having our own Banzai reps enter the offers into the system themselves. Now, of course, they work hand in hand with you on that. It also gives you the opportunity to review those offers with us, and we can make suggestions about how you might want to change some of that text. And we can also help you write the proper lengths of the offers for the different components on the article itself. However, we recognize that with 50 or so articles or more, and especially if you're really taking a comprehensive approach with offers, and you want an offer on every single article, and they may be customized for every single article, we realize that you would want to be able to manage that yourself. So we are working on that. That will be coming in the not too distant future. But in the meantime, you can change or update or add new offers as often as you like, just with help from your Banzai rep. But we do still suggest talking about your offers with your Banzai rep, if only to get ideas about what other types of offers work well. You might discover that you wrote the offer too generically, it wasn't specific enough. It is nice to get objective feedback, especially when we're centralizing information across many of different partners, and we can at times share what works and what doesn't. So let's see. Landon, do you see, we're getting...
Let's see, I see a question here. How often is the information updated? And I think in the last 12 months, we've launched 3 major new products, and we have updated, I think, everything. And so our products are typically updated. We're constantly updating everything to make sure that it looks and feels current and relevant.
Perfect. I think we've covered, so if we have not covered your questions, that we're actually getting buried under pricing information. So if we haven't covered your question, we'll actually get back to you individually. We have a list of all of your questions by name, and we will respond to them individually after the webinar. Landon, was there anything else you wanted to add? I should probably put up your contact information.
Yeah, go ahead and put up my contact information. I do see another question here. Will you be providing us a link to the recording for us to share? Yes, we will absolutely be emailing everybody a link to the recording so that you can download it. If you have further questions, my contact information, I'm going to go ahead and switch back to Kendall so he can put that up for us. And my contact information will be on the screen here in just a moment. Any questions, you can reach directly out to your rep or to myself. I'm happy to help. But if you already have a rep you're working with, if you have questions or content suggestions or you want pricing, feel free to email them directly as well. But we appreciate you, everyone, taking the time with us. We're very excited about where we're headed with this, and we're just scratching the surface. So more and more will be coming, and yeah, we're excited. Thank you.